allowing this class to happen on behalf of the Erie County Library System and all the other people that have helped make this possible. I'd like to welcome everyone here today to another Saturday with yoga on this rainy Saturday in May. So thank you all for being with us. And we'd like to start with just a little bit more about the importance in your life and in everyone's life of taking advantage of healthy diet. And rather than go into all different aspects of it and hassle you about it anymore, I know you all have your own predilections and everything about these things, but I just like to point out a really good man, a really good book, Dr. Joel Fuhrman. He's an MD and Fuhrman. Write that down, Joel Fuhrman. You can get this at the library, and it's available in many ways. He has many books out. End of Dieting is one of the very good ones, but any of his books and his whole way of looking at diet is very important. And of course, you want to get lots of good exercise, fresh air, lots of sleep, and come to these yoga classes and take advantage of that. So today, without further ado, I'd like to just sort of go into the real essence of yoga. Remember we spoke before about these open secrets, and I want to just share this one that I've shared with you before. The reason they're a secret is because most people just don't understand what the real meaning and uh, power of this particular secret is, and sort of let it pass and don't think about it, because we have our own paradigm of how things are, and if some of these secrets are way outside these paradigms. So but if you're ready to hear about it, if you've got an open mind ready to expand your paradigm, these secrets will no longer be a secret, and they'll be a great value to you if you point out the real meaning of life. And that secret is everything is one, and that oneness is total, full, pure consciousness. It is the consciousness within all beings. It is the existence within all beings. And it is the love and happiness within all beings. It is an overflowing fount of that. Each one of us is an expression of that in our individuality. And we have a limited amount of that, depending on your nervous system. And the human nervous system is highly evolved. It can bring more and more of the essence of life out and live that, the possibility of that. And so it does depend on how we experience this inner fount of fullness within each one of us, depends on the workings of our nervous system. This is why yoga really focuses, at least in the beginning stages especially, on the integrity of the human nervous system. So the whole essence of yoga is about purifying and enhancing this nervous system, and ultimately calming the mind, and which is another expression of that ultimate reality of pure consciousness, and reaccessing or getting more in tune with that underlying aspect, which we've sort of overlooked in our outer experiences, our obsession in our normal everyday life with outer experiences. We sort of ignore that ultimate reality within each one of us. Yoga is the science of bringing that back, and there's many, many different ways of doing that. We're going to talk today about the Ashtanga yoga. First, I'd like to talk a little bit more about this whole aspect of that infinite consciousness and how it transcends time and space, and it also permeates all of time and space. the scientists, in their great wisdom these days and their great technology, have been able to look so far into this vast universe that they can actually see how it began. We call it the Big Bang, okay? As we go further and further back, further and further out in space, because space and time are really sort of one. They're just aspects of the same thing, and they're basics of this outer expression, space and time. Okay, what are space and time? They're movement in consciousness. If everything stopped, where would be the space? Where would be the time? Time is registered by the movement of the clock, the movement of the planets, the movement of the sun, the whirling of the planet Earth. So everything would stop. There wouldn't be anything actually if everything stopped. There would be nobody to see it or nobody to know about space or time. And that's the infinite consciousness underlying it all. And movement is what life is, the expression of life. The ever-changing aspect is constantly moving. So it creates time and space. So the scientists have discovered that, as they describe, before anything happened, there was this singularity, which is another word, their scientific word, for this infinite consciousness, this oneness, singularity, oneness. And so at this point, they posit, there was no space and time. And exactly, just what we're saying, this oneness is beyond space and time. And that when the Big Bang happened, this is when space and time were created and all the rest of it. So in our experiences, we're constantly experiencing space and time. And really, space is just the appearance of the limitations of, of infinity. And time is just the outer experience, the limitations of eternity. So infinity and eternity underlies all the finite space and time experiences. Ultimately, they're one. That infinity and eternity expresses itself as finite experiences in space and time. So the movement of consciousness creates finite, and going beyond the movement, that stillness is the infinite. So that's what yoga is all about. So from there, we can go to the Yoga Sutras, which a man named Patanjali put together a few thousand years ago, sort of his take on the essence of yoga. And he speaks about Ashtanga yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, which we're going to talk about. But in these sutras, which are kind of like short and very compact packets of wisdom, which many people have commentated on and elaborated on, but these sutras are a very common way in yoga of expressing this great wisdom that comes down to us. There's many different sutras, the Shiva Sutras, the Brahma Sutras, the Dhyana Sutras, but this is the Yoga Sutras. So he created these Yoga Sutras, and the first Yoga Sutra, his first sutra in his treatise, sort of sums up the whole of yoga. He says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Naroda, which basically translates as yoga is the stilling of the thought waves of the mind. So if we still that space and time, that movement, we come to that infinity, which is underneath it all, that eternity, beyond space and time. That is what yoga wants to bring us back to that and enhance our finiteness with the infiniteness. Who doesn't want that? We add to our mortality, which allows us to experience all the ever-changingness, which is mortal though, because it's constantly dying and born, constantly not, constantly changing. And with that unchanging immortality. So we become aware of our immortality and able to express that in our mortal existence, which is the ultimate experience that we can have in the body. And the next sutra describes the results of this stilling of thought waves of mind. It says, thus the spirit rests in his true nature. It is your true nature, the infinite, eternal fullness. And all we need to do is sort of calm the mind. And this is what yoga is all about. And all the different practices are designed to do that. Bring us back to that, make us more acquainted with that. When you become more acquainted with something, you become more able to relate with it and enjoy the company of it. A stranger, less so, right? But as you become more and more familiar with it, then you become more able to live that and be in relationship to that or be at one with that. And so as you become one with that oneness, you realize your oneness with that, and you're able to experience that oneness in all the diversity. So the 8 limbs of yoga, which Patanjali describes, are designed to help to facilitate this particular situation that yoga tries to achieve. And what we'd like for you to begin on the path to enhancing this in your own life. And so the first, what's called of the Astangas, there's Ash means 8, Stanga means limb. The first limb of yoga starts with the most outer, okay, working from the outer where we are to the inner, right? So the most outer, the most gross, the most outer that we have is our worldly experiences, right? Our worldly life. So it tries to get our worldly life in order. So it's called the yamas and the niyamas. The yamas are the first limb, and they are the things that we should not do if we want to have a calm, happy life. Things like lying, stealing, cheating, and one of the very important one is violence, non-violence. It means ahimsa, which means non-violence. So if I would sum up the whole of the first limb of yoga, I would say non-violence, because if you're not harming to anybody, you're not going to lie to them, you're not going to steal from them like that. So that would be it. And of course, I think all of you are probably aware that that's the way to be anyway. So this is pretty obvious. And then the second limb, the niyamas, are more involved with things that you should be doing, like to cultivate in your life, like contentment, one-pointedness in your desire to find the reality within, and all that, and all the other things. So I would sort of sum all these up rather than go into all of them, saying that would be it, to be earnestness, to be really serious in your inner search for the ultimate reality. And so that's the yamas and niyamas. And then the next limb would be asana. Asana means seat. And all these very different postures, or it could mean posture, all these different postures, and would be involved in this particular limb in order to cultivate and enhance the flow of energy, and thus the ability to access deeper levels. If our bodies are all out of whack, if we're sick, if we're all tensed up and everything, things aren't flowing well, we don't feel right, we're going to be less able to access deeper levels of our being. You might have noticed that in your own practice. So it really helps. Everything we do is affecting our nervous system. And so these postures are designed to even that out balance it and enhance this life flow of energy in our bodies. Okay, most people think of yoga as just that, but there's so much more to yoga, even so much more than just what I'm speaking about today. Many different types of yoga, but this is the type of yoga that is caught on so much uh, nowadays. As we're so much in a materialistic age, and this is the most kind of the obviously thing out there that people can grasp onto, and they think of this is what yoga is, but it's much more than this. And though from there is the next limb is pranayama. Prana is the life force. Yama means again to control or to enhance. So the pranayamas, these breathing techniques, okay, and some people think that or have posited that pranayama is the real essence of yoga, because what yoga is designed is to uh, manipulate and use the life force to enhance the outer expression, which we need that. If our prana isn't flowing right, again, if we're not able, if we don't eat healthy foods and gain that prana and breathe uh, pure air and everything, we're not going to be as healthy as we could be. But these breathing exercises are designed to really enhance and control and again, uh, calm the mind by bringing more that energy and calmness into the mind and body. So that's the next limb, the fourth limb. And then we start getting a little bit more subtle. Uh, Pratyahara, which means kind of like letting go of the senses and the thoughts in the mind. These are just the ever-changing appearances of consciousness. Let these go, and it means kind of like a falling back into that unchanging, that more subtle aspect of our being. And then the next step is dharana. Dharana would be described and it'd be translated somewhat as concentration. Okay. And there's many different types of dharanas. It would maybe be the techniques of meditation, which we think of as meditation, is really dharana. This is kind of bringing the mind to one pointedness on perhaps a mantra or the breath are very common ones, and which is what we use, what we recommend in our own practice here. Other people concentrate on other things or use other ways, but there's many different dharana centering techniques to sort of bring the mind to a more one-pointed state. And if all the other steps have worked, or if we're in a really good space, as we progress, the other steps become less important, and we can go right into what's called dhyana. Okay, but usually we need to do these other steps first to get into that space. But as advanced yogis go along, and I can tell you from my own experience, after you've done this long enough, then you can just go right into dhyana because you've kind of made all the connections so many times before, and it just becomes very natural. When you sit to meditate, or even outside of meditation, your mind is in that, just kind of in that state of very, you'll know it when you hit it. It just feels really good, and you're to a really good space. And dhyana, practiced long enough and regularly enough, leads to the final limb of yoga, which is called samadhi. Samadhi means that evenness of consciousness. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, yoga is that evenness of consciousness. So that's that state of transcendental, which you spoke about, that oneness, that eternally, if infinite, pure consciousness. You kind of merge into that. Now, there's two types of samadhi. There's Salvakalpa samadhi, which means samadhi which happens intermittently. We experience it for its first maybe brief periods and maybe longer periods. Sometimes we can sit in it for very long periods, but we sort of, that doesn't stay with us all the time, but much more so than an average person as we leave meditation. But over time, as we experience samadhi more and more, then we become permanently established in that. No matter what happens outwardly, when we experience through the mind and senses, that pure consciousness flows through, and it becomes, we become aware that everything we experience is nothing more than that too. It's the total oneness. The outer and inness are realized as oneness. And that is the ultimate reality of ultimate goal of yoga. And that's called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, enlightenment, nirvana, whatever you want to call it. And that's the real goal of yoga. Now, it's not something that happens overnight, but right away, you'll already notice that all the benefits that we come about that we're trying to share with you these days are happening for you if you'll just practice this regularly. And if it doesn't happen, you've started later in life, and you know, practice it as regularly as you think you could or should or would or whatever. But there's plenty of time, and it's not like it's going to be lost because we can't take our wealth or our relatives or our whatever after this body disintegrates, but we do take our spiritual development, our mental development, our tendencies, our karma, so to speak, with us as we leave these bodies. We experience this on different levels and perhaps come back in a different form, a different time and place, but and continue our practices until everybody sooner or later. This is what life is designed to be. Just coming out and experiencing life in all its variety, and then reuniting and experiencing that fullness from which we all really are. Everything has begun and everything is. So that's the essence of yoga. And it begins, like the Chinese say, with the very first step. And we've made many steps already. So let's continue. Let's continue on our journey towards that oneness, which is not a journey that we really have to travel. We travel in our outer experiences, we experience different things and everything, but really it's the pathless path. We already are that, but somehow we just have to sort of let the clouds of that are disturbing the sun of infinite consciousness. We just have to get them out of the way and realize that we are always, the oneness is always there. It never left us. Anything eternal has to transcend all time and space. So it's always there. We just have to access it more. So let's go ahead and access it right now then. You are that oneness. So just rest in that right now. Everything is that oneness. And that oneness expresses itself in manynesses. So let's let go of the manynesses and experience that oneness by just closing your eyes, hands in Shin Mudra, feeling that energy flowing in your body. That energy flowing in your body makes you able to experience what we call the world. And by settling that down, we can experience the source of the world within each one of us as our true nature. Rest in that pure nature. So let's just do that right now. And watch your breath. As we said, the breath is our lifeline to that life force. So by watching it, mind also is an expression of that life force. So by these two focusing on each other, the mind and the breath within the body, we can let them all sort of calm each other in a way and let that life force settle down. So watch your breath. Let everything else go for now. And then deepen your breath. We all know the full yogic breath, allowing the outer breath to go way out as you pull the tummy in, and then deeply in as you allow the tummy to expand first, pulling that energy, that life force deep into your lungs, and then into the middle and upper part of your lungs without straining. And then apply the locks. Remember the locks? The bandhas kind of tighten up the chin, pull the tummy in, tighten up the bottom. Okay, top, bottom, and middle. So that prana gets really compacted and very concentrated and full. And then release those locks after you've held in long enough. And then breathe out very long and completely. And let the breath stay out a little bit. The outer kumbhak, the outer holding. And then when you're ready, again, reverse the process, breathing in completely and fully. Good. Let's continue like that a few more times. Noticing how it makes your body feel so dynamic and good, and your mind very calm, peaceful. John Lennon, who wrote in one of his songs, "Give you anything I got for a little peace of mind." So peace, so connected to our happiness. Anxiety and restlessness disturb our peace. So we want to just sort of enhance that peace. So let's continue our deep breathing. Okay, finish the one you're on and do one more. When you're done, let your breath just return to normal. Just remain in that very quiet, relaxed feeling. Just being. Good. Now, let's go ahead and begin with our neck rolls. Okay. Just roll your head back into the side, back into the other side, and back and down and all around. Good. Stretch and massage all that area by just rolling your neck. Breathing and focusing, remember? Yoga is not yoga without breathing and focusing. All three together helps to enhance that life force. Good. Now shoulder blades, or I'm sorry, shoulders up around your ears, touch, or as close as you can to your ears with your shoulders. Good. And then reach back and down and relax. And back and up, tight again, tight, forward, down, relax. And then all around with your shoulders, stretching and releasing tension in that area. Wonderful. Arms outstretched and bring your shoulder blades closer, closer, closest. Feel that stretch. Breathe into it. And then just release it and stretch overhead. Way up, 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 up. Good. And then twist to the left and bring that left elbow towards the left knee. Bringing the right elbow up as high as you can. So they're almost or even straight between each elbow. And the right side is feeling a great stretch. I might remind you in all these poses just to do the best that your body allows and just kind of grow into these poses. So don't try to do too much. Okay, so let's stretch up again and twist to the right. And as you also remember to listen to your body as you're feeling that stretch and listening to your body, go as far as comfortable for you, down to that right knee and bring that left elbow up, up, up. Feel that stretch. Breathe into it and then release it. Good. And let everything settle back down and enhance the flow of energy in your body so you're ready for the next position. Okay, so let's go ahead and self-massage. This is a way to really enhance the energy flow throughout our bodies. We can do it just by stretching our right hand out, and our left hand does the work by reaching across and squeezing on the right hand, and then moving up to the wrists and over the forearms, squeezing and releasing, focusing and breathing. Okay, always focus and breathe as you work your way up the shoulder into the chest and heart. Good. And then let's do the same thing with the other side of the arm. If we start on the top and the bottom, otherwise, start on the bottom and go to the top, whatever. And then squeeze and release again of that same arm, but with the other side of it, squeezing and releasing. This time underneath the armpit and into the chest and heart. Good. And then the same thing with the left hand goes out and the right hand does the work, squeezing and releasing, focusing and breathing as you systematically work your way up the arm, waking up all those important veins and nerves and energy flows throughout that left arm. Go down into your heart again, and you can start on the top of the hand and pull back on the fingers. Good, and the top of the hand, and work your way over again, down the arm, the forearm, elbow, and upper arm, and into the chest and heart. Good. And now let's go ahead and massage the bottom of the feet. You may or may not know, but there are all these very important nerve endings in the bottom of the feet can be accessed and sending that energy by just massaging the bottom of the feet. And there's even a whole science about that, of people that do these things. And there's various parts of it that are corresponding to different parts. But right now, just giving a nice massage throughout the bottom of the feet and send the energy to all those various organs and things in your body. Good. And then the top of the foot with your fingers, massage there, and then flex that foot. Good. Does that feel good? So let's keep on by taking both hands and massage your way up the right leg, squeezing and releasing, focusing and breathing. And then the left hand comes in front, right hand comes behind. Let's go ahead and massage that midsection nicely. Good. All those important organs, massage them directly by just massaging them, like pushing that energy right in there, giving them a little extra help. And then on the bottom of the left foot, same thing. Okay, with your both hands, both thumbs on the bottom and your fingers on the top. Get all the parts of that left foot. Good. And then flex that left foot and work your way up the left leg again the same way. Squeezing and releasing, focusing and breathing. Good. That's what life is all about. Focusing, breathing, and moving. Okay. Bring us that life energy throughout our bodies, throughout our lives, and also be able to access the source of all of that. Okay. So now let's go ahead into the top of the head, massage the top of the head, and massage all that in there. And then the forehead and the temples with your thumbs, and around the eyes gently, and even more gently on the eyes themselves. Good. That you can feel how they appreciate that. because they work so hard for us, so they need a little break too. And then down the jaw, under the jaw, and into the heart. And the top of the head, again, give that a good massage again, and work your way down the back of the neck, back of the skull, and onto the neck, on either side of the spinal column, and on either side of the neck, upper back area here. Give that a good massage. You'll notice that it will really appreciate it because it holds in a lot of tension at times, and so you want to give that a good effect, and down into the heart and the lower back, up the spinal column, and the midsection. One more time. Good. Now sit comfortably and feel that energy flowing even more dynamically through your body, but your mind is even calmer. As we're going to do that dynamism outwardly, inner peace and calm and fullness. So we're going to enhance this effect even more so. So remaining in that inner calm and with the breath, focusing the mind, we're going to go through our postures and enhance this life flow even more so. So we always start with the yoga mudra, hands behind the back, together. And we're going to take a deep breath. And as we breathe out, we're going to bend forward from the waist. Okay, some of you may not be able to go too far, but that's as far as you can go. That's good. And some of you will be able to go further, maybe even eventually, or even some of you all the way down to the mat with your head. Whatever you can do that stretch at that max point and bring your hands a little further over. Hold, feel, breathe into it, and then stretch to the right with your right shoulder. Stretch to the left with your left shoulder. Sitting back up, let's do it all again by twisting our bodies to the left this time and coming down towards our left thigh. But first we take a deep breath. And as we breathe out, come down towards that left thigh with your head and chest. Bring those hands far forward and then release the hands. Right hand forward all the way, left hand back. It's just where it was, and you feel that stretch, breathe into it. Good. And then when you're ready to come out, just come straight back with that right hand to the left knee. Keeping the left hand right where it is, and you're all set to twist that left shoulder back, bring the right shoulder forward, and your head comes forward. And here you are in the seated twist. Feel that all along your spinal column. Breathe into that, and then release that, and do the same thing to the right. Twisting to the right with a deep breath. As we breathe out, come down towards that right thigh with your head and chest as far as you can go. And then release that left hand forward. Again, same thing. Right hand stays back, and you're caught in the middle. Feel that stretch. Breathe into it. Good. And then as you come out this time, same thing. Bring that left hand to the right knee this time and twist the opposite direction with your head to the front. Feeling that stretch again from this direction. Good. And then just release that and stretch your legs out and lie back to the mat. Very good. Remaining very calm and peaceful and breathing consciously. And we're going to do a difficult pose, but a very powerful one. It may not be difficult for all of you, so if it is something you want to just pass on, just do halfway, that's okay too. But just be very careful with this one. We're going to do the inverted poses. We're going to bring the feet up from the hips like this. For some of you, that may be enough. But if you're feeling like you want to, then push over a little further, put your hands on your hips, and stretch your feet towards the ceiling like this. With your hands high up on your back as possible. Your chin into your neck. This is called a full shoulder stand. Obviously, is a very interesting Sanskrit word for this, sarva asana, which means it's good for the whole body. And this is a very tonic pose, reverses the flow of energy. Some people say it reverses the aging process. But for whatever, it's very good for us. Feel that experience of that. Hold that as long as comfortable. And as you do it longer, you'll be able to hold it longer. And then when you're ready, slip into the half shoulder stand with your hands on your hips. The feet are still straight overhead. Very tonic pose as well. The blood rushes in this way into your brain more so than the thyroid. And then bring those feet all the way over as far as you can go into what's called the plow posture. And feel the effects of that stretch on your lower back, how it massages your internal organs. Very good. Hold that as long as comfortable. And then very carefully slip back to the mat. Those poses aren't for everybody, especially people that have high blood pressure or anything, or maybe a bit overweight. But if you do choose to do them, you really will benefit. So I do like to include them. Okay, so our arms are outstretched. And let's go ahead and take a deep breath and bring that left foot up. And as you breathe out, let's go straight across as far as you can go. Feel that stretch at that next point. Hold, breathe into it, and release it back up and down. Take a deep breath and bring the right foot up and slowly across to the other side. Go as far as you can go. Feel that stretch at that next point, and then bring it back up. We keep the knee up, let the foot hang down, and let's reach across with our left hand and pull that knee to the left as we lean to the right with our head towards that right shoulder and outstretched hand. Now bring that right shoulder up, but keep the hand down and pull that knee even further. Get a nice stretch there, and then release it. Do the same thing with the left knee. The right hand pulls to the right as you lean to the left this time. And again, let the shoulder come up, keep the hand down, go even further, feel that stretch. Great. And just release it, but keep that knee up as you grab it with both hands. Pull it down into your chest. Great. Head up to meet it. Now straighten out that foot and grab it and pull that knee down again. And now really straighten out that foot, pull back on that foot, put the head right up into the knee. You're getting up just like this. Good. And then let's go ahead and do the same to the other side. Pull that knee down, head up to meet it. Grab that foot, pull down that knee in this way, and then pull back on that foot, put that head right up into the knee. Good. And then release and relax. Good. Just let the body integrate all those nice stretches. As you bring your knees up and your feet flat, hands outside of either foot, and take a few breaths because we're going to go right into the bridge pose. And we're going to push up with our thigh muscles and our lower back muscles and try to make a bridge between our feet, which are flat on the floor, and our upper back, and see how that lower back area, how high it can go. Push the midsection as high as you can toward the ceiling, and then take your fists and massage that lower back and help that energy, everything in there to function better. Good. And then wrap your hands around your hips and push that midsection even higher towards the ceiling. Good. And then take a deep breath and stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Back down. Deep breath, right leg up and back down and back down to the mat. Stretch your legs out until they relax. Very good. And of course, breathe. And now we're going to do what's called the inclined plane. So just like an inclined plane, we're going to sit up a little bit here and make our bodies into an inclined plane. We're going to push up with our arms, shoulders, and from your feet to your shoulders, you're straight, like an incline, like a plane. And then bring your head back like this. Good. Take a deep breath and bring that left leg up and back down. Right leg up and back down. Very good. Now sit up with your hands on your knees. And again, access the body. Feel the changes. And by accessing it, that will quiet the mind and enhance the flow of energy in your mind and body. And when that is feeling like it's settled down a bit, just bring our hands together and take a very deep breath. And stretching up. And then as you breathe out, stretch forward and down. And see if you can get a hold on your toes and your ankles like this. Maybe just your toes pull back or ankles, whatever you can get a hold of for you. And then bring your elbows down and bring your head down. And go even deeper into this pose as you breathe. Breathe and go deeper. And relax and go deeper. Hold at that max point. Feel that stretch. And then sit back up. And pull that right foot into your midsection. Let's do it again with just the left foot outstretched. And your hands are together. And you're taking a deep breath up. And as you breathe out, come out and down. This time with both hands, try to get a hold of that left foot or left ankle, whatever you can reach comfortably. And then put your head as close as you can get to your left knee. And as you go closer and closer, you feel that max point stretch. Hold at that point, feel it, and then sit back up. And do the same thing with the right leg outstretched. The left leg comes in, the left foot comes into your midsection, and your both hands are together. For another stretch up with a deep breath. And forward and down. Again, grab that right foot or ankle, head into the right knee as far as you can go. Feel that stretch, hold, breathe into it, and then just release it. Wonderful. Both legs now are out, both feet outstretched like this, like in a V, and your hands are together. And we're going to stretch in a different way. We're going to take a deep breath and stretch up again. And this time we're going to kind of switch that right shoulder kind of towards that right foot. And we're going to twist our bodies to the left. So that right shoulder is pointing right towards that right foot. And then your right hand can go right down to that right foot. And then slowly and consciously bring the rest of the body and the left hand as close as you can get to that right foot. Go to the max point for you. Feel that stretch. Hold, breathe into it. And then sit back up and do the same thing to the other direction. Deep breath up, twisting the left. Left hand to the left foot, and the right hand comes down and the rest of the body towards the left foot. Go as far as you can go. Feel that stretch. And then twist your body. Grab that left foot. Put the head into the left knee. And the right foot is grabbed in the right knee with your head. Good. All right. Now sit back up. And now we're going to do a little more difficult one, so be very careful on this one. We're going to go straight up, and this time straight forward and down and across with either hand to either foot. Very carefully put your head towards the mat as far as you can go. Feel that stretch at the next point. And release. Both feet together. Grab your ankles and pull your feet into your midsection. And let's go ahead and butterfly down and release. Butterfly down and release. And let's hold those thighs down towards the mat. Straighten up your upper body and your arms are straight. And breathe and focus and feel that stretch. And then push the feet forward a little bit and put the feet right in, the head right into the feet. And feel that stretch in there. Good. And then sit back up. Now this next pose, again, is a bit challenging. So just do the best you can. It's called the full twist. It's very, very good. But it's a little bit difficult for some people. So just do the best you can. Gonna stretch your right leg under like this, and your left leg over like this. So that the left foot is flat on the mat, and the left uh, leg from the ankle to the knee is straight. Okay? So you're going to use that as a fulcrum to reach across that left knee with your left arm. I'm sorry, yes. And then your right hand comes around behind you. Twist that right shoulder back and bring your head to the front like this. So you end up looking like this, ideally. And feel that stretch all along your back and spinal column. And then reverse your arms. Keep the legs right where they are. Reach across with your right hand over across that knee. You used to be able to do this. You get your hands together underneath there, but that's very difficult. Just kind of pull on that left knee, bring that left shoulder back, bring the head to the front like this. Very good. Feel that stretch, and then release it and reverse it. Your left leg under, same thing. Your left leg is under, your right leg is over, right arm is over, left hand behind. Twist like this, and then reverse and twist like this. Good. Okay. Up into the diamond position. Toes together, ankles apart, hands in chin mudra on your knees. And again, just access that unchanging peacefulness, fullness. Rest in that, as it says in the sutras. And that is yoga. So just experience that for a bit. And when you're ready, bring your hands behind you together. Take a deep breath. Bring the top of the head to the mat. Bring those hands far forward. Stretch right. Stretch left. Way forward. And then sit back onto your haunches. Hands by either foot. Turn your head to the right. Or you can leave it straight forward onto the mat. Just relax into this pose. Just let everything go. And then very slowly kneeling back up, hands in chin mudra. Good. So now the next one, which is called the kneeling twist in English. Put our left hand on our left knee and our right hand flat on the mat and stretch that right leg straight back. That's it. Keep the upper body straight up and down. Lock that left elbow. And the left hand is on the left knee and the elbow is locked. The upper body is straight up and down like this. And this allows this right hand to easily come around as far as you can go and twist that right shoulder back and bring that chin right onto that front shoulder and get a lovely double twist. Breathe into that, focus on that, and then just release it and reverse it. Bring the right leg back and stretch the left leg straight back. Balancing on the right knee with your right hand. Keep that elbows locked and that left hand around. Twist those shoulders, head to the front. Focus on the experience of the twist. And let that whole energy flow be enhanced as you breathe into it and focus on it. Good. And then both hands down, both legs back. And you're all set for the cobra pose. And just as we the cobra, we're going to raise our hood, raise our heads, and cobra would be a hood. For us, it's a head. And bring our heads back and slowly come up from the mat as we kind of roll that spinal column slowly back like that. So we get a nice flex on that. And you're going to feel it in your lower back. Push up a little bit more. And bring your feet up behind you. Really enhance that effect. Twist your head to the right, to the left, And then slowly back to the mat. Totally relax. Good. And of course, breathe. Very good. Okay. This next one is really intense. Just do the best you can. It's very, 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 very valuable for the whole body. It really strengthens the whole nervous system, the whole muscular system. So we're going to do like this. We're going to stretch our hands out, bring our feet up, and rock our boat like this. Good. You see the baseball players doing this when they're warming up because it's very, very good for the whole body. Good. So let's flex. Do good. And then reach back and grab those ankles and come up like this into what's called the bow. Make your body into a bow. Good. And enjoy that. Maybe even rock a bit if you can. And then pull those ankles down, keep the head up, and then release back to the mat until they relax. For a well-deserved time off here. Breathe. Good. Take a few moments. And the next posture is we're going to hold the breath while we do it. So take a few deep breaths. First, we'll start with just the half locust, just one leg, and then we'll do the other, and then we'll do both. So take a deep breath, hold, and bring that right leg up as high as you can. Everything else stays the same. Just bring that right leg up, 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 up. Good. And then slowly back down. Take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, hold the next one. And the same thing with the left leg. Up, 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 up. Good. And slowly back down. Just go to your max, and that's good. And take a few more deep breaths because we're going to do both together. And hold the next breath, and let's push up with our arms and our lower back muscles and bring your feet up as high as you can. Up, up, up. Good. And slowly back down. I can't tell you how good that is for you. It really strengthens your back and your arms and does very good things for your internal organs. So that's a good one. And then let's come up onto all fours. Maybe do a little bowing, stretching those arms, bring your chin down to the mat, and then up onto all fours again. And let's kind of flex our back a different way in the cat flex. Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath, bring our head up and our midsection down, and then reverse. Breathing out, head down, and arch our back up. Good. Let's do that again. Down with the midsection, up with the head, and then as you breathe out, up with the back and down with the head. Let's do that one more time. Good. And yeah, great. And then let's go ahead and do a little wiggle waggle. So both your head and your butt turn to the right like this. And feel how that flexes the spine that way. And then to the left, to the right, to the left. Great. And now let's take a deep breath and bring the knee into your chest as your head comes down to meet it. Good. And then just kick that left leg up as your head comes up as you breathe out. And again, together breathing in, knee and head, and apart breathing out, up and up. And together and up. Same thing with the right leg. Together and up. Together and up. And up, and bring that right foot up like this and kneel up. And we're all ready to stretch across that knee with your left elbow. And bring your right hand behind and twist those shoulders, head to the front. Great. And then let's reverse that. Left knee up, reach across with your left elbow. Sorry, behind with your left elbow. Cross with your right elbow and twist those shoulders, head to the front. Hold, breathe, and relax and release. And then both hands together. Okay. Take a deep breath and stretch forward, arching up. Left hand stays out, right hand goes back, and let's pull that left and right ankle as we stretch forward with the left hand. And let's do the same thing with the other one. Right leg up, and let's stretch forward, arch up, and leaving the right hand out. Reach back and pull that ankle as you stretch forward. Great. Put both hands down, both feet together. Grab your ankles, head into your knees. And very slowly, standing up, feet shoulder width apart, hands on your thighs, hands together, leaning back, both hands stretching way overhead, as far as you can go, and then back to the standing position. And then arms outstretched, and together behind you, and let's bend forward from the waist and bring those hands way far forward. Great. And then release that, standing back up. Put our left foot forward and our right foot back, hands behind you, back together. Let's lean back and then lean forward as far as you can go with your head towards it. Front knee, the left knee. Hold, feel it, and then slowly standing back up. Do the same thing, but the right foot forward this time, left foot back. Leaning back, arching forward. Go as far as you can go and feel that stretch at the next point. Great. Okay. Now we're going to do the triangle pose. For this one, we have our right foot facing forward and our left foot towards the left. And our arms are parallel to our thighs. And all we have to do is like windmill down. That left hand goes to the left ankle, calf, and the right hand is looking up overhead. Good. You're looking up overhead towards your right hand. And then bend that left knee. Put that left hand flat on the mat inside that left foot. Bring that right foot back and bring your right arm forward. You end up like this. Stretch from your right foot to your right arm, all on the right side. Hold that, breathe into that. Then bring that right hand around behind your back. Bring that shoulder up and look down towards your left hand and foot. Hold. And then straighten both feet out, the left foot forward as well, and grab your ankles. Leave your hand, elbows inside the knees, and bend the knees and put the head towards the mat. As far as you can go. Feel that stretch, feel that blood into your brain. Hold, breathe. Both hands together, head up. And then let's, standing back up, let's stretch overhead. And the right foot goes out. And do the triangle to the right. Down to the right foot with your right hand. Up with your left hand, looking up. Good. Down with your right hand, flat. Back with your left foot. Forward with your left arm. Same thing, different direction. Feel that stretch. Good. Behind your back, shoulder up, head down. Good. And again, right foot joins the left foot forward. Grab either ankle. Elbows inside your knees. Put your head towards the mat. Great. Both hands together, head up, and standing back up. Let's go ahead and stretch one more time. Overhead and back to the starting position with your feet shoulder width apart, hands together. And let's go ahead and do a quick sun salutation and finish up for today. So you're standing with your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to stretch out, head back, and back to the standing position. I'm going to stretch overhead like this behind you, and then all the way down, and grab either ankle, head into your knees. Great. Both hands together and stretch the right foot back, head up, and then the left foot goes back with the right, and the buttocks comes up, and your head comes down towards the mat like this between your hands. Hold, and then up with your head and down with your midsection. Good. Hold, and then bring the right foot up and head up and And then both feet together. Grab your ankles, head into your knees. And stand right back up. Stretch one more time overhead. Good. And we've really stretched ourselves out. So let's take a minute or two, let that integrate. And breathe. Okay, we'll do one more pose and we'll finish up for tonight. And that is the warrior pose. Left foot goes out. Again, just like how the triangle. Oops. But we're going to bend that left knee and warrior pose down like this. Great. And then bring the right hand forward and arch up. Great. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Down and up and up. Great. All right. And so now the stomach lift. Hands on your knees, and we're going to breathe and throw the breath out. Pull the tummy in a few times, and then hold it in and apply the locks. Let's do that a few times. Ready? And let's go ahead and do that again. Ready? Throw the breath out, hold it out. And when you're ready, reach down, push your feet together, grab your ankles, put your head into your knees. Good. Hold this for as long as comfortable. And then when you're ready, put your hands flat on the mat and sit back to the mat. Grab your knees, fall back, roll right, roll left, roll right, roll left, and then stretch your arms and legs out and totally relax back to the mat. Great. Just totally let go into Pratyahara, letting go of anything that you are thinking about or feeling. Just be. Let everything else just let it go. Let it be. And just feel that energy as you breathe and focus on your ankles and toes as you feel them releasing and relaxing any tension. Let them just fade away. Any tension or tightness in there, let that life force heal and release that as you focus and breathe on your ankles and toes. And now your calves. Feel your calf muscles and your shins and your knees, underneath your knees. Feel that whole area sinking into the mat as you release any tension and tightness in there. Your thighs, underneath your thighs, your buttocks, and midsection. Feel that whole area releasing any tension, just floating on an air mattress on a sunny day on a lake. Nothing to worry about. Everything is good. And your upper back and shoulders and chest, arms and hands. Feel your whole body from your neck down, your arms and shoulders, joining in that release of tension and tightness. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to worry about. Everything's good. Just breathe and be. As your jaw and your tongue and your face, your neck, whole head, eyes, everything begins to releasing any untoward tension you might feel. Good. And now your attention is right on your forehead. Very important part of your anatomy, spiritually and physically. And so just feel that energy totally focused on your forehead. Breathe, focus. Feel that whole area lightening up, flowing throughout your whole body. As you focus on your forehead. Now the top of your head also is joining with your forehead in a blissful feeling of relaxation and awakening. As you breathe into that whole area. Very good. Very good. Now very gently and slowly, consciously, without jarring, nice feeling. Let's come to a seated posture. Whatever yogic posture you can, among the seated postures you feel comfortable with. Take your time. And when you're ready, let's do a few pranayama, a few simple breathing exercises, which is the basic one. Let's just do that one for now. Okay. Breathing out completely. Letting the breath stay out as you pull your tummy in. And then allowing the breath to come into the deepest part by allowing the tummy to expand first. And then continue breathing into the middle and upper part. And then apply the locks. Chin lock. Tighten up the midsection and the bottom. Hold the breath in with the locks. And then reverse. reverse, release and reverse, and continue for a few more times. As you notice that kind of calms you even more so. The breath very smooth makes the mind very smooth. The breath jagged and uneven makes the mind uneven. So let's make it smooth and easy. Good. So let's seep in and seep out. Very conscious. Finish the one you're on and do one more. And then let the breath return to normal. Just remain in that very quiet space. Very good. Now you might want to bring in the mantra and the breath as needed. Hum on the in-breath and saw on the out-breath. And just let the focus be there. Don't try to manipulate it. Just using that, as we said, dharana, to concentrate the mind. And so the mind will slip in its own, everything is right, into a very quiet space. This is meditation, dhyana. And of course, the mind will also slip out of it into a thought or feeling or perception and get kind of lost in that which it likes to do. But then we become aware of that, just easily slip back to that inner feeling, to the breath, and to the mantra. And the mind settle down again. Just keep on like that a bit more. Don't open your eyes right away. It's always good to come out of meditation very slowly. That way you don't kind of jar your nervous system too much and kind of shock it a bit. It's always good to come out very slowly if at all possible. Take plenty of time. I want to thank all of you for coming. Debbie and Gail, you've